Right, in this video we're going to have a look at this quadratic formula. Now you should be familiar with this quadratic formula already. So I've got my quadratic equation with the ABCs and here's the formula. And I want you to pause the video, and if you haven't already done this kind of investigation, just try and work out how many solutions there are to each of these equations. I'm not really concerned about what the solutions are, I just want to know how many solutions you can find. Okay, have a look at this. This is the first one, and I've got minus b minus 9, plus and minus, and if I do the b squared minus 4ac, I'm going to have 81, take away minus 40. So it's going to give me 121 and divide it all by 4. Now, the square root of this is 11, so I'm going to have minus 9 plus and minus 11, two different solutions to do there. So for this one, I have two solutions. Now let's go on and look at the next one, where I've put all these numbers into the quadratic equation, and what happens? Here, this is the important bit here, I've got minus 80. Now I cannot solve that unless I use complex numbers. So here I'm going to say that I can't find the square root of minus 80, so there are no solutions. Or should I clarify that and say there are no real solutions? There are some complex numbers that we come on to later in the course if you're doing higher level. And finally, I put all of these into this, and this is an interesting one. I find the square root of 0, which is 0, so I'm doing minus 12 plus 0 divided by 8, and minus 12 minus 0 divided by 8. So for this one, I end up with exactly the same solution, so I have one real solution. Now, it's all to do with this bit in here. I can forget about the rest of the equation, and that bit in there will tell me whether I've got 2, 0, or 1 solution. And in general, I have this. If the discriminant, which is the bit inside the square root, if that is greater than 0, I have 2 real roots. If it's equal to 0, I have 1 real root. And if it's less than 0, so it's a negative number, I can't square root it, so I have no real roots.